Hey everyone, welcome back to Space Engineers Quest for Peace, episode 8. So as you can see behind me, let's turn around, do this remotely. I've got my assemblers all welded up, I've got my refineries all welded up. Let's actually get into the old character here and run around. And I've also got my O2 generators, nice little bubbly thing. Why are you going sideways? How are you supposed to be mounted? The panel says this way. The bubble said, I'm gonna ignore it. I'm ignoring lots of bubbles, like including up there. I haven't even welded that. Anyway, I've got my O2 generators all running up. I've got a water system, and I've put a hydrogen tank above. No oxygen tank, Bell, because I can breathe perfectly fine on this planet. We have oxygen and all that fun stuff. So yeah, lots still to do. So we are making progress. We've got the infrastructure all laid out right now. So now we can start thinking about moving up and moving bigger. Like putting a rest of a building around this, like extending out into some living quarters, like building the actual farms, finishing things, welding up platforms, lots of stuff to do. And to do that, we are going to need lots of resources, specifically iron. So that's what we're going to be doing today. We are going to be taking our iron hole right over there. You can see we're only 282 meters, he says only, away from being able to bring in our iron. Hell, we're not even that far off to the, what is that, gold and cobalt over there. But I want to focus in on the iron. So what I've been doing is just using the old rover here, running over to the hole, filling up the rover, running back, and that's done fine. But after a couple of bunch of times running back and forth, yeah, it's getting tiring. So today it is time to set up a drill. And I've been spending a bunch of time thinking about how I want to do this. So I have basically two options. I can do a remote platform, so self-contained, self-powered, and then maybe put a connector for some sort of rover. Not this guy here, he's going to be too small, but, you know, building an actual truck or something like that. Or I could run a line out to there and actually draw the iron directly into the base here. So let's look at our options. We basically can easily build a self-contained base. We can power it with some turbines, which aren't turning very fast. I hope that changes soon. So yeah, convenient, easy to set up, and then I could just run a truck to and from. Problem is then I got to run a truck to and from. That, you know, an interruption of work. Is that a big deal? Not really, but I don't really have... The one thing I haven't put a lot of thought into is a garage of some kind. Because I can't just keep parking right there, which means I'd have to build out a garage, which means ramps, places to park, and piping. So there is more involved than just setting up a remote drill. I can avoid all of that, setting up the garage and stuff like that, which at some point I'm going to, because I have a lot of other resources scattered throughout. Like I've got my silver over there. I've got so much gold, magnesium, silicon. So there is lots of stuff around that I'm going to need a truck for. So I am going to need a garage. It's just, do I want to do that now before I get some, you know, living quarters and a little bit more variety to my diet than just algae or however you want to pronounce it. So right now I'm pretty much just existing on kelp chips. Now I am getting, of course, plenty of kelp chips because the algae farms are producing quite well. I did definitely overproduce on these things, so I've got lots of kelp chips. In fact, I'm gonna grab my inventory here. Let's throw a bunch more into my inventory. But I'd like to get a little bit more variety, and again, the whole point is to set up some kind of basically industrial farming, mostly because I want to play with some fancy subgrading harvesting systems. Thank you, Keen, for showing me that picture, you bastards. So yeah, I'm going to want to get on and move on to that. And then just running back and forth is always pretty much fine, but you know what? Having your iron getting directly pumped into your base just makes things so much more convenient. Problem is, it's 283 meters away. It's not much of a drive, but that's more than 100 conveyor junctions. So that is going to be pretty resource heavy. So it's 6 of one and a half does the other. Either way that I go, it's going to cost me time and it's going to cost me a bunch of resources. What is going to get me there faster? Is going to get me there faster building a big line of conveyors and, the supports necessary out to there so that I can just pump the iron directly into the refineries or whatever storage container, which I'm going to have to put up somewhere. Or is it going to be faster to build a rover, build a garage, then build a drill? One way or the other, I got to build a drill. And I think I'm going to run a pipe. I think I am actually going to convey it. Let's have a look at how much iron we actually have here. We can just pop our nose into this little bay. So I have, of course, done a few runs of iron, and I'm going to have to do more runs of iron. So, yeah, it's not looking good. I've got 7,000 in this refinery, and I've only got like 1,000 in this refinery. Not even 7,000, 6,000. So I've basically got 7,500 worth of iron. That's gonna hurt. Now, I could easily punch a hole into the side of the mountain here. Start gathering some stone and whatnot, but I don't really want to have a giant gaping voxel hole kind of on my base here. I'd rather just keep building it coming out of the mountainside. And again, I've got that there. So I am going to have to do some iron runs. It's going to be a big job. So yeah, basically let's get to it. All right. Jeez. I fail. All right. So let's get into here. I'm going to throw whatever I can into my inventory, and I'm going to grab some steel plate. I'm going to keep the rifle on me because, wolves keep trying to eat my face. Anything else I don't need? I don't need that. Can I? No, I can't put that in there. I'll have to put that into a storage bin, which is over here. Oh, yeah, and I also have removed whatever infrastructure I had previously. So the basic or the assembler and the basic refinery are gone because, of course, they have been replaced. I just haven't moved any of this stuff yet. All right, I'm going to dump some stuff into this container. I don't need that. What were you? Oh, that's okay. That's the station I need to, or just got to. No, wrong button. Let's put that away. Let's put that away. What to do first? The first thing to do is to grab a bunch of steel plates and try to see what it's going to take to run a line out there. So I am going to run it from the base and try to hit directly over there, which is going to be a bit of a challenge. You know what? I'm going to splitsy it. I'm going to use a bunch of subgrids. Yeah, for now, I think I'm going to do a little bit of cheating here. And you'll see what I'm going to mean shortly. So first thing I want to do is just grab a bunch of steel plates. So we'll have lots of stuff to start off with. I'm going to keep an eye on that hydrogen. If I have to, I'll grab some ice out of that hole there. But first things first is let's try to get a bead on that spot. And I think right about here. Yeah, I think I get away with it right here. All right, so let's drop something down here. Oop, let's not use that color. That is the get rid of color. So we're gonna try to drop down here. Okay. All right, so what I'm thinking here is I'm going to have to run a conveyor through the platform. And we've got a line kind of more or less running through here already, which is fine. So I'm going to pop this guy out and pop one of those. And of course, I need interior plates, which I don't have on me. Do I have enough room for interior plates? Yeah, I can grab a couple of them there. So we'll grab this, and I'm going to put that in there, and that's going to tell me where these guys need to be. So let's grab some more of these. So these are going to be for supporting. To come through here. I'm going to put another one of these guys in there. I don't have enough interior plate. Let's throw some steel plate back and grab some interior. The jetpack here. Interior. Okay, so let's throw some back there, and then we'll just grab these guys there. All right, that should let me do some work here. And again, should probably be very conscious of my jetpack. Don't have any ice at the moment. All right, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put a hinge right here. I can't weld it up, but that's okay. And then off this hinge, we are going to run a piston. And it's going to immediately start yelling at me because I have to build this guy up. So let's do that. And I'm just going to dump the stuff and grab all the building material. There we go. And then we can come back down here. Let's get this hinge welded up. And the wind turbines look like they're turning again. Okay, so I'm going to set a upper limit of 35. Let's say, let's just go with 15 degrees for now. And we are going to grab another piston. And we're going to grab another piston. And we're going to grab another piston. Okay, so now if I aim this guy down, again, I'm using build vision to do this. So we're going to lower this amount down. Let's put a little bit of velocity on this guy. So we can take it down to 18 degrees. And then we'll just keep going down until basically we can clear the ground. And I think 24 degrees. Just like that. Okay. How expensive are you? So you're 10 steel plate, 10 construction components, 4 large steel tubes, 4 motors, 2 computers. So they're not really super expensive. So again, just to kind of give you an idea of what I'm thinking here, I could use the armored conveyors, but that's, yeah, you can see that's a lot more resources involved in putting in a conveyor tube. Even one of these little guys here is kind of more expensive than this. The only thing these have against them is the large steel tube and the computers, which I have, you know, I can easily build here. And one of the reasons why I'm also considering that is that that's 2, 4, 6, 8 meters so far, but each of these guys extends out to 10 meters, or extends 10 meters, so that's 12 meters combined. These 4 pistons actually represents about 48 meters, which is almost a fifth or 20% of the distance that I'm going to go there. So I find using pistons as part of your conveyor line, it's a lot of subgrids, but it's a good temporary fix, and we're going to kind of help the subgrid issue as we kind of fill this stuff out, and that's where these splitsy parts come into it. All right, so let's get these pistons built up here. Okay, I'm just going to put a bunch of parts into production here. There we go, and let's try to get these 4 built up. So that's 1, 2, and that's 1 and a bit, and 1 and a bit, 1 and a bit, 1 and a bit. All right, let's get the rest of the stuff here. Let's also actually put them properly into the build planner. I'm going to need to get ice soon. Ice soon. Okay, want that. Want that. Want that. That. And want that. And want that. Alright. And back up. And again, I'm just going to toss these guys all into production and try to pull out what I can. All right, that's got that one built. Of course, we have to make sure the plates are fully built as well. Otherwise, material will not pass through. And that's the other course advantage, thing that with pistons is that they are fully conveyed. So, material will flow through them. You just have to make sure you are actually connected, which I currently am not. All right, let's get some more. Yeah, looks like the steel tubes are just about there. So again, I'm just going to pop down, drag the torch. That one's another one. There's another one. That one's done. Is that one done? Did you get done? No, you're not quite done. Get some more. And how are we doing here? Need a couple more large steel tubes. There we go. And all of these guys are now welded. Let's also make sure we get this guy here because it's about to take a lot of weight on. So I'm just going to quickly weld that up. Ow! I should probably go get some energy. Now, thought I set up a refill station somewhere. Did I not set up a refill station? I don't have a refill station. Thought I did. Okay, well, let's build ourselves a refill station. And the nice thing is of the update, since the Apex update, sheesh. The refill stations no longer require semiconductor. They just require bauxite. So they made them actually usable for early game. So awesome. I just need to get a couple of these guys here. And we'll weld this up. And do some quick charging. Much better. Let's also eat some kelp chips. We go, and back to getting this hinge part. That's what I was doing. I was welding a hinge part. Okay, now let's extend our pistons here. We're going to grab all 4 of these pistons. We're going to give them a positive velocity. Let's go 1. And that gets us nicely along the ground, all the way down to here. Perfect. That's actually about the height I want this thing to be at, more or less, I'm thinking. Cool. Yeah. All right, so now we need to grab ourselves a hinge. And we'll put you like that. Oh, I need some steel plates here, so let me go grab some material. I am very much keeping an eye on my hydrogen. And large steel tubes. There we go. That's got that all done. Oh, not good. I mean, at some point in time, I probably will just go straight to hydrogen engines for power and put them on a timer. Ooh, there's a lot of inertia tensors I need to set. I'm not going to set the hinge yet. I will. It's probably... No, I just got to get these guys locked down. So let's do this. So let's get all of my pistons here. Their inertia tensor. That was some fun jiggles. Yep, sorry about that, guys. I'm not going to set the hinge part because that'll add the weight of the base to the whole thing. Right now, I just want to have all of this kind of as one solid unit. You are doing some funky stuff here. Why are you so unhappy? I didn't do you, did I? All right, that seems... That does not like what's going on here. Okay, braking torque. So our braking torque. Turn off the tensor. Let's get this down here. See if we can't lift you up. Add some torque. Yeah, I'm asking a lot for this little piston here. That is for sure. But looks like it's holding... My God, that is thick fog, and that is no wind. Ugh. All right, so that was 23.8. Reason that's important. Let's get this guy welded. I thought I had all the bits.
No.
Oh, I had the bits for that, not for the whole thing. Hinges are 2 pieces, dumbass. Oh, yep. This is going to be a time to drill. Okay, I'm just going to run out here. Yeah, running out. I've only got 28 hydrogen left, and I have no ice. So I'm going to run out here. I want to make sure I have a little bit of my bottles here so I can get back up to the platform easily. I just suppose I can... Nah. Parkour up the hill. All right, where is the hole? There it is. Uh-oh. Houston, I'm gonna have to do something I didn't want to do. Damn it! I'm gonna have to pop it. No, actually, I can do it right here. Yeah. No, it's fine. Everything's fine. It's all fine. There is no problems here. So let's put that in there. Let's find our O2. I should have got a little tiny bit of ice there. O2, yeah, and quickly refill bottle, and quickly refill bottle. Yay! And then while we have the stuff, let's run to our refill station. And there we go. Okay. Now, I'm gonna go grab some more ice in my ice hole, because I also want to get down here. All right, so this is what I've got so far cleared out for iron. So this is all but what I've been removed. And I'm trying to do is basically clear out a big enough lengthwise chamber. And then I'm going to just stage by stage get the drills to do the work for me. So you can see I'm actually in the stone region, which is good. That means the ice is actually a good size. All right, that's a bunch of ice. I'm just going to throw some more ice over. Well, I suppose I could refill my bottles from the tank. Oh, dumbass. Because if I look at my hydrogen tank, I have a small hydrogen tank that is 20% filled. I could have filled my bottles from there. Okay, no more ice. That's good. We're good. We're good. Thank you for coming by. All right, do I have anything in my build planner still? No, I don't. Let's go do this. That means I've welded this up. Yeah, okay. So now I have to put this guy to the same direction. Sorry, we have to do it this way. So we're going to go to an upper limit of 23.8. It does not like... Oh, it did not like that, did you? 23.8. 23.8. There we go. And we're going to add some positive velocity. So that should theoretically counter the angle that's up on this upper hinge. So if we see, yep, that's 23.8, and then opposite 23.8. So I should be back to being horizontal, which is exactly where I want to be. Now here, I'm going to put a armored conveyor junction. No, I'm not. I'm going to go up here, and I'm going to get the steel plate so I can put an armored junction. Like so, and we'll just put a couple of these guys here. All right, so what I can't do at this moment is I can't put a block into the ground. So I can't stabilize this. I can't give it its own support here because this is not a static grid. It is currently considered a ship. We don't want it to be a ship. I need it to be a static grid. So we are going to grab, do I have that on my hotbar anywhere? Not yet. So we'll just go here. I'm going to grab a button panel. Get one of these little guys here. Just a couple of construction components. There we go. And I'm going to try to convert this into a static grid. Now, we need to lock it to the ground. So I'm going to go like that. Going to go like that. Actually, we'll go like that. I just need to get a landing gear on this thing. Let's come out a little bit more. Yeah, out over there, so that'll work. Yeah, I just need the whole thing to turn into a static grid. Okay, that should be locked down. Let's see if it did. There we go, and convert to station. Perfect. So it's now a static grid, which means I can now take this and lock it to the ground. Come on, let me lock it to the ground. Right, like that, and then I can get rid of all of this stuff. And boom. And there we go. So that is now connected straight through. And we'll pull these two guys out of there because I just need these guys to be. Okay, so that has got me down the hill. And if I do want to replace these pistons, it's really easy. I just need to make sure that my hinges are locked. Like that. I can just grind them out and replace them with conveyor junctions. Yes, they're pistons. Yes, they can go multiples, but again, it is, 5 meters. What are they? Yeah, like 15 meters. Actually, it's... These guys go out by 4 blocks. It's 10 meters extension. Yeah, 15 meters. 6 times... Well, no, it's 18 meters. 2.5 meters? No, it's 2.5 tiny. Anyway, nothing. I don't see where these guys are. I'm going to... Yeah, that looks like they wandered off. All right, let's finish getting this down. Okay, so now that I've got a static grid here, so that's all locked down in place. I can try and weld that up. No. What I next want to do is now aim towards this hole. It's nicely, the wind is cleared up, or the weather's cleared up. The wind is coming back out. I'll just grab some of this ice that I've already mined out. Let's grab a block. All right, let's grab a block, because I need to be able to aim this guy. We'll put a block there. Hey, Mr. Unknown Signal. Oh, actually, I'm going to go grab my unknown signal here. There might be some goodies, because they've given us all kinds of new stuff in here, like things like seeds and whatnot. All right, let's just lock in. Does the button work today? No. Not at all. Where is the cargo? Right there. And nothing of any good. All right, I'm gonna let the rest of the stuff just do its own thing. I don't care, it can despawn. I don't really need to grind it down. I'm not gonna spend the time doing it. I got stuff to do. All right, so now I need to go over here, and I'm horizontal, which is where I want to be. But now I need some way to aim it, so we're going to do that with another hinge, except we're going to rotate you that way. And not really that far to go. Let me do something here. I'm going to set a GPS. Do I want to set a GPS? Yeah, I kind of like to know what distance I'm traveling here, so let's just do a temporary GPS. It's a pretty good shot. So we're going to go just GPS. Oops. And what that'll do is give me a distance. So it's 15 meters, so 10 pistons would get me all the way there. So that is 40 large steel tubes. It's 100 construction components, as opposed to the conveyors. That is, these are each 2.5, so 170 meters divided by 2.5 is 70, 45. Honestly, I think it would look cleaner. I'm going to eat the resources and use my armored conveyor junctions. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. So we're just going to start shooting this guy out. It's going to be a buttload of welding. It's going to be a... No, I don't have a conveyor connecting this, so it's no point in me putting in a conveyor or a... cargo. Okay, had to change the plan. Instead, we are going to go with pipe. Yeah, instead we're going to go with that. That's what we're going to do. So we're going to change up our loadout here. So I'm going to throw everything back in there, hold down the control key, middle mouse click. I get you to put one of these guys in my build planner. I'm going to add that to my build planner. Then I'm going to hold down the control, and that'll load 10. Try to load 10 of these guys into. Yeah, I know. That's always ironic. Because that should give me all the resources I now need to start throwing in some pipes. So we're going to go 1. Then we're going to change to these guys. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then on the 10th pipe, we are going to put one of these. And then we're going to do it again. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then, whoop, actually, I need to change this one out. Don't be so dramatic, you. 10, and then, or 9, and then 10. Yeah. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. We're going to do that. We're going to keep going here. Going to need a couple more sections. So we'll get that done and get back to aiming this thing properly. I think I need to weld this up. All right. So I'm pretty much there. So I'm going to try to lock this thing down. That was nowhere near close enough. So we're going to see if we can't. There we go. I think that locked. Yep, it's locked. Perfect. Okay, so we're going to do our little static grid trick here again, which means I need to get a button panel on there. That's the nice thing about the landing gear is they will lock unbuilt as long as they have something to lock to. So we're going to, again, weld that up. We're going to go into our info panel, and we're going to convert that to a station, which means it's all locked down. So with that, we can go find our truss block, and we can drop some pillars to the ground. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to use these conveyor or pipe junctions, is that way I can easily drop these guys down, and they fit perfectly, or at least well enough. Yeah, I know they don't go down to the ice. I'm going to get these easy ones first before I have to start doing my upside down float. So we're going to drop all these guys in. No, I'm not, because I just had a silly idea. The thunder scared me. So I'm going to unzip these guys. I'm going to leave the end there because that's what's actually holding it to the ground now. That's what's going to ensure that it stays a static grid. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to go over to my rover here. I can take off the O2 generator off the top now. With my full inventory, let's empty my pockets, grab all that stuff. Because what I have is this little junction right here. This is going to be absolutely silly and ridiculous, and I need a full-size junction. Of course I do. Is this even going to work? Maybe. All right. Let me try this, and I'll get right back, and I'll show you what insanity I've come up with. All right, and here is the ridiculous contraption. So, yep, I've added a junction, a cargo pod, and a welder, because I hate hand welding. Go away, Mr. Wolf. So what I'm going to do is just turn this guy on. Oh, a couple of wolves there, and just slowly drive forward with my escort. And weld up all my conveyors. Now, as you can see, I forgot to unhit pause and has done some of this already. So it works wonderfully, and we just need to keep doing this. And just squeeze underneath. Yeah, a heck of a lot faster. You know, the welding torch, the hand torch is faster, but it doesn't carry the same amount of material. Here I can just slide along. Oh, I'm getting stuck. So we're just going to have to swing out a little bit and finish welding. So just make sure I'm off to the side. And it should still hit the bubble. Come on, just about there. I might have to do these last two by hand. Oh well. Actually, maybe I can back up. There we go. And yes, there's still wolves stuck in my wheels. How about you? Can I get you? You know, if I don't bounce... Alright, that's it for that. I think we are just going to let our wolves kind of hang out down there. You can see how hard the batteries have to strain when I do the little fly bit. But yeah, considering I'm, doing most of my traveling by air, I don't really need to do anything about the wheels. It's a little bangy with it lowered, but at least then I can just quickly reconnect. Boom, done. And exit the vehicle. Alright, so that's got the line all done here. I just need to connect that now to the main base's inventory. And that should hopefully be the last piece. Yep, green, 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 green. We can use build info here, so we'll just do the command go bi.car space cn, and we can see that we have one piece missing, but that is everything. Fuel critical. Oh, Jesus. Oh. Yeah, okay, that just happened. Cool. Literally launched myself into a perfect arc. Yeah. That was fun. Let's eat some chips. Okay, so that means I am now conveyored all the way down to the far end, which means I don't have to keep diving back up here. I can now put a container. Ow, 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 ow. Okay, there's a hole in my floor? Right there. Stupid wolf. Climbing up into my crib, making me shoot out my own floor. Okay, anyway, as I was saying, now I can just put a cargo container down there, and I should be able to withdraw all the stuff that I need. Mostly the cargo container is just for an access port. But we can run this down here, and... Okay, so that has now got us welded all the way from back there to here. And I can now drop my line in. So let's do a little bit of looking down here. So basically the kind of drill I'm going to use here is a sweep drill, which means we're going to drop a line through here and the drill head's going to go back and forth as opposed to I could do a rotating head. It's just, how much room have I got here? I'm not going to do a plunge drill because these tend to be rather horizontal. And let go grab some loose iron. So it's either I do a rotating drill head or I do a sweeping drill head. And I'm thinking probably a rotating drill head might be best. Okay, so let's get these guys out of here. Come on down. There you go. So we can grab some more pipe. And I don't have the material, but I can now grab the stuff from here, which is great. Let's just throw a bunch of random stuff into construction. We'll go in with one of these. How far over do I want to go? Probably right about there. Drop in a 90. And then we'll put another one of these. Okay, so I'm gonna change you out and put in one of these. And then to the bottom of you, we're gonna squeeze in, not one of you, we're gonna squeeze in, hit the right button, and advanced rotor like you. Okay, let's get all this stuff welded up. You're gonna do a little bit of a change up on the bottom here. Figure while I'm stuck in a hole, I might as well have some cargo access, because instead of trying to wiggle my way out through there, let's just get this guy down on the bottom all built up, hopefully. I should have enough here. No, of course not. Why would that be? I got a lot of extra material here. Let's dump all that off, and that way we can fully fill our pockets. And then we can spend the next bunch of time inside the hole. All right. So we are now in our hole. Let's get our rotor back on the end here, if it'll let me, because, you know, static grids and whatnot, but the base of the rotor should be fine as long as the end can make it. Let's get all of this merged and welded. And yeah, this is our first little bit for our drill. Now it's going to be a bit tricky to do this here, so let's grab our drill head, and of course I'm going to use the DLC Type 2, and let's see if we can't get this little bugger mounted up down here. I'm going to need some steel plate. I just need to be able to get the one in here. I'll probably have to clear some material, so let's use our blocks here so I can try to see where it's grabbing, and let's clear all of this out. Yeah, I am right clicking, and it looks like I've actually found the depth of this. Yeah, it's literally going to be a one drill, maybe two drill height. I might actually have to bring this all up by one. In fact, I'm pretty sure I do. So let's pull this stuff off. I'll grab that stuff in a minute. I'll grab that stuff in a minute. I need to move all of this up a little bit. Gonna have to clear all this now. So we'll just do a little bit of sculpting here, make sure we've got all the room. And I am going to end up collecting a little bit of stone, but that is, I think, going to be okay. I can either sort it out or just turn it into silicon and nickel. Okay, going to need all the stuff for these guys. Okay, all of that is back. Energy is getting real low. I don't feel like flying all the way back again. So we'll put another one of these things in place. There we go. Let's eat some more kelp chips. Health is a little low, but there's nothing I can do about that right now. Okay, so this is where we get to have some fun now. We just need to get that one drill and start clearing some space, probably two. let's get some steel plates here. Yeah, that'll do. Figure out where I need to drill out, or if I do need to drill anything out. Any of you fit in any direction? Let's figure out what I do need to clear up, which is all of this stuff right here. Especially up here. Probably should have used a drop piston to get the height right, but you know what? It is what it is, and it shall be. Okay, that means I have now enough room to get a drill through. Yes, it is raining underground. You are, in fact, seeing that. Put the drill right side up there. Can we get the second one in? Not yet, not yet. Let's get this first one built. There we go. That's the steel tubes I need. Okay, let's turn you on. I'm gonna temporarily put you to terrain clearing mode just to kind of give me. There we go. So the iron doesn't extend anyway that distance. Oop. Yeah, it's gonna need to be a sweep drill. Oh well, let's clear out the area. I keep running out of... Uh-oh. Now here's irony. Excuse me. Irony. I need the iron. I need to collect iron so I can make the drill so I can collect iron. That's okay. We'll just throw those guys in there. That should get all sucked back to the refineries. Like that, because I've run out of material. We are so close. 38. Let's check our production. That is a lot of stuff I'm producing. Oof. Alright, so apparently that's my main assembler. That should do me now. There we go. Let's get this guy built up. And let's get some spinning happening here. Okay, so this is going to be very slow. And just to get a start on it, and all I'm trying to do at this point is give myself some other room to work with. And kind of figure out which way I want the drill to go. Because it looks like I'm right on the edge of this deposit, and the rest is off heading that way. I'm gonna have to do some hand drilling here just to make sure the drill head can get through. Ow. Hey, did you know there's ice 20 meters below me? So yes, I'm picking up a lot of stone here, but that's okay. Really do like these new drill heads and welding heads. This is going to be a problematic piece. Yeah, I know I'm right-clicking, but I need to get this drill head to go around. Let's see if I can speed it up a little bit. Okay, so that has now given me this chamber here to work with. And what I can now see is that I am right on the edge of this iron node, but ironically, or fortuitously, I should say. Yeah, I know, I dropped a bunch of stuff. Fortuitously, I actually managed to drop my line right on the edge of it, so I can do a sweep drill getting through there, and that's why I got rid of the rotor head there. So I'm just going to grab all the stuff that I ended up dropping, and let's get you deposited in there. So that means I don't need you anymore, so we're going to get rid of you. And I'm going to put a square piston here. Yeah, I'm going to put a square piston there. I'm going to throw a junction. Don't worry, I'll make sure the letters are facing the right direction because it bothers me just as much as it bothers everyone else. So we're going to put a conveyor junction there. Yeah. I have a plan. I'm going to give it a little bit of space down here. Because what I want to do is get this welded. I have a plan. This is actually going somewhere. It's not just me doing random nonsense for no reason. There we go. Let me clear some more of this stuff out. So again, just right-clicking in here. Here we go. As I am slightly on a weird angle, but that's okay. Which way does this go? That goes that way. And that is, yeah, definitely just nothing there. So that's my wedge slice. Perfect. So we can grab a hinge now. Grab a hinge. Put you there. And again, I have a plan for this piston. We're going to do our spacing. So I need some energy and hydrogen. I also need to eat some kelp chip. There we go. So I need 3 blocks coming out from this for clearance, and that is clearly not going to be there. So let's drill this out. I'm just going to use the regular drill, because I don't want to waste too much more of my iron. And because I have quick and easy cargo access right here, yeah, no, I could set up a collector and have all the stuff roll into the collector, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, by the time I get all that set up... Alright, I'm going to do a little bit of right click now. Just to speed the process up and clear all that loose stuff.
Inventory.
Thank you. Okay. Put you in there. Let's get rid of you guys. And we can put another drill head there. Again, the piston has a purpose. I have not forgotten about it. The mystery shall be resolved. I just need to get this drill done. Okay, so now that I have that, I'm going to turn the drill on. And then I'm going to lower the piston down just a little bit. Because... let's go real slow. That way I can actually make sure I'm fine-tuning exactly where it is that I need the height of that drill head. So you can still see I'm still getting iron there. Piston is still lowering. Let's just make sure that everything is clear here. Puppies just don't sound happy up there. That looks like it's low enough, so now I'm going to turn the piston, stop its descent. So 0. I'm going to... there is no piston lock, so we'll just leave it at 0. All right. Now, we can start working with our hinge. So we're going to first swing you this way a little bit. Oops, don't lose the control here. Slow yourself down. Okay, so that's my maximum distance this way, so we're going to say my upper limit is 25 degrees, maybe 22 degrees. Yeah, 22 degrees. And then we'll just let it swing all the way to the other side. Now, I'm probably still gonna miss a big chunk here. Either way, because the fan is a little bit bigger, but I can kind of build the drill head. Oh, trouble. Didn't get there in time. Wasn't paying attention. But if this doesn't happen at least once, I'm doing something wrong. All right, drill's back up and running. Let's try this again. Even if this is not a permanent drill head setup here, because I might need to do some changes. Like I might need to bring things back this way a little bit, but we'll worry about that in a second here. Might also need to bring this down just a little bit more. Not too fast. There we go. Okay, so that is as far as it'll go this direction. So we're going to do a reverse. Grab another drill. Okay, I think I finally...
Inventory.
Sorry, just cleaning up here a little bit. But I think I got the drill head exactly where it needs to be. So you can see here that I've offset it. So it kind of reaches over that way a little bit. So now when I swing it back, we can get the rest of that corner. Which will be just fine. And now we can bring it back. So I'm just going to do another sweep through. And then we'll start kind of trying to get it to go forward, because I am going to need to get a piston. Yes, another piston. Probably several more pistons. So that I can drive these drill heads even further forward. I'm just going to, again, keep cleaning up here a little bit. And actually, while we're here, let's have a quick look here and see how we're doing on the iron overall. Iron. So there's 60 there, 25,000, 45, that's stone. Yeah, so I've managed to collect about a rover's worth of iron. Alright, that is the drill getting close to its limit. Don't have any more blown out piston heads. Gonna let it come a little bit further forward now. So again, I've changed some of the angles and whatnot here, so I can do that. Like so. But yeah, that's basically what we're gonna do. So all I need to do now is I'm gonna keep driving this forward a little bit. I'm gonna have to do a little bit at a time, obviously. Actually, I'm gonna do something really wasteful. I need that space. It is only the edge, it's mostly stone that I'm vaporizing, but we can turn that off now. And hopefully we can then get a piston in here. But I'm gonna have to work on it for a little bit. Yeah, inventory full, thank you. Stage by stage, because I don't quite have enough space here for the piston and the drill head. But once I have that, then we can get all the iron we need. But that is basically how this is gonna look. So there's just a lot more of this kind of ahead of me here, so I won't drag you through that. All right, I think I got the drill worked out. So here we can see I've got the hinge right here, and it's currently extended to negative 22 degrees. I've got the piston going out 90 degrees into 2 drill heads, and you can see that it's scraping perfectly right along that iron seam, and I can now extend the drill out 10 meters. So that's perfect. So I've got exactly the limits I want, so I can get all the iron in from there. Now all I need to do is finish setting up this button panel here. So we're going to go to our buttons, we hit K. So you can see I've got it set up so we can set and move to return the piston to 0. To extend it, I just set the velocity, and then I've got decrease and increase my maximum distance here. So if we go to the piston and we go to our maximum distance, so I should probably look at the piston, not the button panel. Iron piston, there we go. So we're gonna set our maximum distance to 0 meters. I'm gonna set up another button panel, and I think I can put it right here. So again, we're gonna go to our button panel, hit 9, and I want the pedestal, so this guy here, and I need some stuff, so we'll just go up to the handy cargo. There we go. And that'll just sit right there. Get it welded. And so on this button, what I'm going to do is find the hinge, which is named iron hinge. And I'm going to set that to reverse. And then I've got a group for the drills. We are going to set this to toggle on and off. And I still got a spare button. So now if I want to reverse the pistons or the hinge, we reverse the hinge. We can reverse the hinge. It's set at a nice slow pace. And when we want to drill, I can just increase. So increase, and that'll go out 1.5 meters. Whoop, need to set the speed first. Ha ha ha. So we'll set our speed. There we go. And now it's moving. So that's going to extend out, push in 1.5 meters. And then I can reverse the hinge. And we can gather all of our iron. So we're not cutting super deep. We can see that the voxel's deforming in front of the drills, which is kind of what you want to see. Means that you're not going to get any collision or clang. And I've got the hinge going at 0.2 RPM. So look at build vision here. And we look at its velocity. So yeah, 0.2 RPM. So it does a nice, pretty quick swipe. And all right, so we've come to the end. Now, I could put in event controllers and stuff on this to automate the reversing and whatnot, but I don't like just letting my extend out 1, 2. I don't like letting my drills kind of run on their own too much like that. Mostly because that's how you get all your inventory filled up with one thing. So I kind of like to keep things manual and then just monitor it. You know, set up some nice button panels, and then you can walk away, or I can at least actually walk away and get things going as is. But that is got my drill working. Yeah, so I'm out 2 meters here, so I'm going out 0.5 meters each time. I could probably increase that up a little bit more, but yeah, we're definitely keeping up with our iron here. So again, let's see what we've got in ingots. I've just been looking at the iron ore. So yeah, we got 13,000 in here. Oh yeah, so I've got 266,000 iron. I think I can stop here. My yield, I got yield and speed on the refinery, so they're definitely keeping up. So yeah, I think my iron needs are definitely satisfied. Wow, those refineries are going gangbusters. So yeah, we'll just let this one finish off here. There we go. All right, I'm just going to turn the drills off. Won't need to waste the power. And let's get over back to the base and plan out what's next. Oh, yeah, I'll finish up the pipelines securing and all that, of course, to make it look pretty. Gonna put some lights and stuff on there, but for now, I think I could even replace these pistons with proper conveyors, so we keep everything nice and neat. But yeah, I think we're doing good here. Now, quick question. How's my inventory doing? Quick way to tell. Let me grab a seat. So, not critical in the storage area yet, but definitely going to want to start thinking about it soon. I'm going to need to up production. I'm going to want to get a quota system running so to make sure I've always got resources. I think I'll put storage back here, a couple of nice big containers right there. Eventually I'll think about fuel storage, but I think we're looking pretty good. Okay, so we did get a pretty good amount accomplished today. Feeling actually pretty good about that. Let's put our torch away. We got our pipeline in. Had to do a little bit of Frankensteining with the rover, but that was just out of sheer laziness. So yeah, we got our pipeline going straight to our iron. It really wouldn't be that hard to go off to the cobalt and the gold. It's just probably unnecessary. I don't need that much cobalt or that much gold. I'm probably going to replace that piston line there now that it's anchored at the beginning and at the end with the proper pipeline, but that'll be for next week or next episode. I'll probably actually do it between episodes, and that way we can move on to storage and kind of start laying out the rest of our complex here. Thanks for watching, guys. If you liked the video, go ahead and maybe consider hitting the like button. If you've watched to the end and you're not subscribed, maybe consider subscribing. If you'd like to support the channel, you can hit the join button and become a channel member, and that way you get to see these videos 5 days earlier than everyone else. You'll get a nice little shout out at the end of the video, and your name will be added to the an end credit list, so to speak. And of course, you get to wear one of the fancy badges. But thank you very much for watching, guys. Until next time, be safe, be good, and have a great day. Bye-bye.